don't have a lot of time to record, considering that I'm out of school and everything, and I don't really go hang out with my friends that much because some of them are going on vacation and others of them they have the opportunity to. It's just they have to hang out with their friends too. Because that's the thing. I have friends who have friends, and they go hang out with those friends, and then they'll come hang out with me and everything. It's just a weird sitch. Um, and this is going to be another video on a very touchy subject. And it's okay. Here, subject of boys. Okay. I know that some guys watch my videos too. But I just wanted to talk about that subject because it's just a subject that I'm kind of struggling with at the moment, and I had a notebook with me. It's behind my laptop. Okay. And okay, I'm getting into the age now where girls start wanting a boyfriend and stuff. And at the beginning of this year, I kind of thought it was stupid a little bit, just because I don't know, I just never actually ever thought that any guy could possibly ever like me in that way. Not that the person you end up with in high school is going to be the one that you're going to end up with forever. It's just some girls think that way. And then you get a broken heart at a young age, and that's scary because once you get your broken heart, you automatically, every time you like a boy, you're always going to question stuff. Like, it's like me right now. I have a guy who's a friend, and we text a lot, and when I sent him a text and he doesn't respond to it, I'm automatically go into that overthinking and overanalyzer mode of, oh, does he not like talking to me anymore? Am I being too talkative? Am I becoming a nuisance? Am I just not getting the point of, okay, take a break from talking a little bit? And it's stupid to do because it's like, obviously they don't mind talking to you. It's like, the other thing too is, okay, not everything is a thing to be able to respond to. It's like if you say, yeah to something, you say good, I don't think they know how to respond to it. And girls being girls, they automatically think that they should get a reply within the next 5 minutes of sending a text. I'm just making up new words as I go along, dude. And also just because girls, okay. First of all, as I always say, you should not have to feel that way at this age, especially I'm going to be a freshman next year, so it kind of gets into that time a little bit, the whole, wanting to impress guys, and trust me, I do that too. I have guys who I want to impress and stuff. And, but the other thing too is that, back to the broken hearts thing, I've gotten my heart broken twice. Once, it was major, it hurt really bad, and got majorly depressed over it, spent the whole rest of my summer depressed as hell. And then the next time, it wasn't so much my fault, and it wasn't so much the guy's fault, it was more of just both equally our faults, and then most importantly, the bully's fault, because let's just say one of the guys I wrote a poem about that I shared in one of my videos, let's just say, the bully had to go and tell him about that, and so he went on a whole thing of telling me don't write poems anymore and stuff, and the funny thing was he said it to me in a nice way, which was sort of weird for him, because normally he's not one to be nice, he's nice around his guy friends and everything, but that's just because they're all kind of that way, they're all kind of like the whole jock, I'm so good thing. Like, do you ever meet those kind of people where they're just like, I'm all about it, a box of chocolates, and everyone loves me, you know? Like, there's not a single person that hates me. Well, okay, if you think that way, chances are not a lot of people are gonna like you. Um, but anyways, I liked him for whatever reason. I think it was just mostly because I thought he was nice and everything. And also because we both played soccer and he was kind of cute, I guess. Um, but the bully was friends with him and at the time was friends with me because I was in that situation where I had friends who I thought were my friends, but they were actually bullying me and stuff, like making fun of my weight, telling me like, okay, if I told them I like somebody, they would automatically be like, hey, you should go talk to that person, go tell them you like him, and go ask them out and everything. And they just didn't understand that I wasn't that confident of a person. Um, so I wasn't going to go and do that. I just thought that was stupid. It's like no one in the real world goes up and says, "Hey, I like you a lot. Hey, how about we go out?" Like maybe a couple random guys on freaking Instagram do that because I get those things with like, "Hey, I want to be your Instagram boyfriend. Just go follow these people." And I'm like, "No, that's just weird. It's like, cause like they're not the type of people who it's like, one, you don't even know if they're actually the people they say they are, and like every post, almost every single post that they have is of, hey, anyone under 10 want to date this guy, or hey, want a cute DM, or a cute message in your DM, direct messenger, then just do these things and that you'll get one. And it's like, that's stupid. Regardless, back to the point. um, but yeah, they just do that. They make fun of my clothes. Like, I had a hoodie, and it was from last year, and they said that hoodie was so old. When she would wear her freaking soccer jersey almost all the time. And it's like, she'd be like, well, my stuff is updated. Well, it's like, I don't care. I don't listen to you. You're not my boss, stupid. That's what I was legit thinking in my mind all the time. And my mom would always be like, well, why do you hang out with those girls? They're just being mean to you, and they're not your real friends and stuff. And they'd always act like they were better than me and, like, laugh around people. Like, at the first football game of the entire season that we went to, they gave me a high five on our way through the gate after we got our tickets. And they laughed afterwards, like they were showing everybody, okay, you don't have no friends, or whatever. But, because, like, I'm not a very talkative person, I'll just be honest. You may not believe that because I post things on YouTube, but it's me talking to a webcam, so it's not like I'm talking to actual people. It's not like I'm live streaming or anything. Which I will do that at some point in the future, just not right now because my equipment is not the best in the world. Regardless, back to the point, I keep going off topic. But yeah, I'm not a very talkative person, and so I generally have a hard time with a making friends deal. Um, I'm better now, like, cause I can't always use it as a crutch. I can't always use it, I'm shy, as a crutch through life, cause after a while you have to realize that's not supposed to be happening. You're not supposed to be shy. Um, but luckily I have friends now, way better friends. I've totally, like, just dumped that whole group of friends. And it was funny because the group of friends I was sitting with at the time, they left the girl too. And I was like, what happened that made you leave her table? Anyways, basically a bunch of things happened. Like, I bought a gift for one of my actual friends at the time for Christmas, but the thing was he don't celebrate Christmas, so I was afraid of giving it to him. And it was just like a spider in a box, and it was like a gag gift. And this is kind of getting into the bullying story thing. But anyways, I wanted to pick someone else out just to give it to, just for one, to get rid of it, and two, someone I thought would actually just accept it and wouldn't care. But they took my milk and they put it in the box and they gave him that box and he threw it away, which made my mom extremely ticked because that box cost $3. It's kind of like when you go to Target and you pay $1 for a freaking cardboard box. He threw that away, so that made my mom mad when I told her that. And then the spider, it was like a spider, rubber spider, one of those like just gummy insect things that you get like in the kids section of a store. And they put that on the table and that got flung around. It ended up with one guy and then it ended up with a girl who was bullying me. And then ended up with another girl. And then I don't know where it ended up from there, but I did not see any of those things ever again. And so, when I got back after Christmas break, the guy basically had his table. I don't even know if this was his idea or not, but basically, they just, they didn't, like, they pointed at the guy and they went, I, heart, and they pointed at me. And so, basically, they're implying that he liked me, which at the time I was like, thinking could be a possibility, but after what happened, I didn't believe it totally. So at math class, which one of his friends from his table was in that class with me, and he sat right next to me, I asked him, like, what was that during lunch? And he was like, so-and-so likes you. And so, I was like, that's not true. I was just trying to see if he would actually reply back, yeah, it's true, we're not lying. Because I found him a very trustworthy person of all the people at his table. I only really talked to him. And so, basically, he said, yeah, we were just joking, and I kind of had put my head down, like, like I was upset. I kind of was just moping then. And so, basically, he asked me after that, like, you're not mad about it, are you? And I was like, no, I'm just kind of ticked. I don't even know if I said anything like that. I just know that I said no to his answer because I didn't want him to know that I had actually liked the dude. I didn't want him to go and tell him. Because I didn't want his friends going and laughing at me or anything. Or saying you're ugly or just any of that bull crap to make me feel bad. Worse than I already did. And so, after a while, me and him started talking again and stuff. And, like, we didn't ever actually, like, sit down and have a full throttle conversation. But then we had testing, like just normal testing, like science, math, language arts, all those 3 tests. We never had social studies because social studies is just that class you have to take because you need to learn about the history of the world. That's just, yeah. Anyways, we had testing and me and the dude who I liked, we had specials during second period. And second period was during RI. We weren't having specials during testing, so we had to go into our homeroom. And me, him, and a couple other people had to sit there. And we mostly sat in the background of the table area because class was still going on at the time, so we couldn't sit in our regular seats. Anyways, like, he and his group of friends were just goofing around in the back, and I kept looking at them like they were weird or something, or just acting totally nuts. And he was looking at me like, hey, you okay? And I was like, yeah, and I looked at him again, and I was like, still thinking they were acting like total stupid, but he looked at me, and he was like, saying something, I couldn't hear him, and I was like, what? And he was like, saying it again, and I was like, what? And he was like, never mind, and I was like, I can't understand you. And he was like, I have to work on my enunciation. The funny part was that he couldn't even say enunciation. I'm not judging him, I'm just saying that's funny. Anyways, so I thought we were getting back on the normal roll of things, But then that video came around, and I wrote a poem about it because me and him got into an argument in the music room because he was his foot was hitting against mine when we were getting our folders out of our cubby holes because we had folders full of papers and music and stuff. And so his foot kept hitting mine, and so afterwards when we were walking up the bleachers to get to our spots, or the risers, he was like, "Sorry, person," and I was like, "Person? I have a name, you know?" Because, like, he was on my team, so I expected him to know my name, and he was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know who you were." Like, kind of in that type of thing where the guy tries to act like he's from the hood, but he knows he lives in a rural area, sort of like country. We don't technically live in the country, we live in the north, but where we live there's a lot of farmland around. So obviously we don't live in the hood, but he acts that way, sort of. And so he sort of acted mean towards me, and I was kind of ticked off about it because I was like, just don't mess with me, dude. Like, gosh, what did I ever freaking do to you to make you hate me so much? That's like how I legit thought, you know? I thought he hated me. I still do think he hates me with all his heart. I don't hate him, but I just think, I get the impression that he hates me for some reason. Anyways, moving on. So I wrote a poem about it, and I shared it to you guys. And then the person decided to share or show him that video. And basically he came up to me one day during our I was like, "Hey, no more poems." And so I took a little while to actually understand what he was talking about because I'd forgotten about that video. Because it was like the first video, one of the first videos that I had posted for a long while. And so I didn't think anything of it at the time. But the thing was, I had promoted my YouTube channel over my Instagram. And the bully, I was still following her and she was still following me. Actually, no, I technically wasn't following her. She was following me though. And I didn't block her before posting that, and so she was able to get to it. That made me feel stupid after I figured that out. And so she showed it to him, and he got mad about it, I guess. Regardless if he knew that anyone from school did not watch it that actually would tell him, you know, it's like, the thing that made me so mad was the fact that no one from school that he knows watches me, okay? No one does. No one that would care enough to actually go up and tell him that. Except for the bully, of course. And so I asked him if the girl, the bully, whatever you want to call it, told him about it, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, figured she would, because she cannot freaking leave me alone. She does not get the point of, hello, I don't want you around me, I want you to leave me alone. He just doesn't get that concept at all. And so later on I thought we were getting better. But nope. Oh, and then basically, couple weeks before they went to Washington for the annual school field trip, the 8th grade, which I did not participate in, sadly. I did not get the money in time, so I could not go and hang out with the friends of mine. But anyways, but a few weeks before they went on that trip, we were learning about rock and roll. I think it was like 2 weeks before school. Yeah, 2 weeks before school. So they had already gone on that trip. we were learning about rock and roll and like country and everything. Actually, no, not country. We're learning about pop and rock and roll and like just the modern day music. And he, for whatever reason, felt the need to participate and like see if he could get the answer before everyone else. He is like one of those types of people where he likes to be like, he was sort of the teacher's pet in music class. Um, uh, so he liked answering questions. He liked impressing the teacher. I don't know why. He just liked being a smarty pants guy. Anyways, there's this one question, which was like, what was the first ever rock and roll song recorded, and who was the band? I couldn't remember the band, but I knew what the song was. I was just waiting for someone to say the band, so I could say the song. And the teacher said the song, teacher said the band, because no one could figure it out. And then he was like, well, what was the first song? And I said, Rock Around the Clock. And he was like, that's right. And the dude who I liked said, who answered that? And I was like, me. And everyone was kind of amazed because in that class I didn't generally talk that much because I was a redo, meaning I already took in that class the first quarter of the year. So I tried to let everyone else, answer some questions too. And then basically all the boys around him went like, ooh, and they said his name too. And they were like just messing around with him. And at first I was kind of like, what? Like, at first I thought they were just goofing around like the boys normally do. But then I was like, why are they doing that? Like, it's been a long heck time ever since the whole, like, video thing went down and the whole, like, Christmas thing went down. So how could they possibly know about it? There were a couple things in between that, like there was one time in gym where we were playing dodgeball, and he asked me for the smaller ball, because the smaller balls are easier to throw, and then he threw me a giant ball, which is kind of rough the way he threw it, but I didn't care at the time. I just felt like he was acting like a jerk. But anyways, there was another time where, like, they were, like, in the hallway, we were waiting to get into class, and I could hear, some people around me, and they were all, like, talking about, they're, like, saying, Jamie Neese is, like, blah, 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 and he was like, no, she's not. The guy who I liked was like, no, she's not, and I was, like, trying to figure out what they were talking about, because, I wanted to know, because if anyone was saying anything bad about me, I want to know. Regardless of how bad it is, I feel the need to know what they were saying about me. Because at the time, I just did not care anymore. I didn't care what anyone thought. I didn't really freaking care at all. Anyways, and I went and I Instagrammed it, and I was, like, asking him, like, what were those guys saying about me in the hallway today? And he was like, nothing. And I was like, I answered back, I guess that means it's something bad, so I should not know about it, or whatever. And he just never answered back after that. Not that I expected him to, because, I don't know. And now I'm just like, what? Okay. I'm just, like, in a very clueless state of mind with that dude. Because, like, he's one of those type of people where it's, like, it's hard to read at times, pretty much almost all the time for me anyways, but he only talks to his friends. He likes talking about soccer a whole heck of a lot, but that's the sport he plays, that's the sport he's good at. And then he's like, I don't know, that's the thing. When a person's hard to read, you don't have much to talk about with them, other than what you've experienced with them. But yeah, now I'm just in a very clueless state of mind, like, one, why do the guys go, ooh? Two, what the heck? I'm just like, okay, I'm just clueless with that dude. And then I liked another guy. This was way before school went in. our school was in. Um, let's just say he was a close friend from a very long time ago, which I renewed my friendship with, because I had been gone for a long time from like where we would see each other and stuff. Um, so I kind of liked him. Ended up getting heartbroken, and that's why I was depressed the whole rest of the summer. But that's a story for a later time in the future when no one cares about it anymore. I don't care about it anymore, just I don't want to speak about it at the moment. Um, and then I like a guy now, which only one person, no, only 6 people know about it, most of which I trust. One of them I don't even know who it is, and the 5 others, they're all my friends, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus, none of them actually talk to the dude at all, so yeah. One of them actually tried to persuade me that the dude was a jerk, but I kind of assumed that the guy who was saying that he was a jerk liked me too. I don't know why though, because it's like we have nothing in common, me and the dude who was telling me that the guy who I like was a jerk. Um, we have nothing in common because here's how I actually became friends with this dude. He threw food at me from across our lunch table. That was my introduction to him. Like, I knew him from a long time ago because we had been in the same grade and same class at a time. But, after that, we kind of just didn't talk anymore just because we weren't on the same team. We weren't in the same class, so we couldn't actually talk. But now the guy who I like right now, which is Sam that I'm talking about with the dude, I'm just so much questioning going on in this one. Oh, I hate it so much. It's like, you should never have to question a lot of things, but when you've gone through as many things as I've gone through in my life so far for only 14 freaking years on Earth, then you start to question a lot of things, like whether people are actually really wanting to talk to you, or if they're just doing that because you're just someone cool to talk to. Because that's what I really want to know. Like, does he really like talking to me? Does, or is just the streak the only reason why we talk? Granted, we've shared personal things, like what we want to be when we grow up, like, what else have we talked about? What our favorite song is. Not that that's a big personal question at all, but, like, we've had conversations about Rubik's Cubes. Like, we legit talk about smallest, totally irrelevant things in the world, but, I don't know. Just, there's one person who I really, 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 really enjoy talking to, and it's him, and, everyone I've told about the situation, they totally just think I should go and tell him. But I am way too afraid to because okay. I've said this to one person, and they've said me what I've expected back from them. I told them, I'm just some weird girl who started talking to him in the middle of the year because she felt bad for him, for what the situation he went through was. Because I could agree, and I could really, really, what do you call that? Like, I had been through that type of situation before. So I knew what it was like, and I could understand what he was going through. And also, just, I kind of thought he deserved a friend that wasn't just gonna be like, being like the whole, hey, you ever, I'm so sorry, because The thing is that when people like go through something like that, they really don't like hearing sorry so much, because like for one, they know that that situation was bad, and they know that people are apologizing, but it's just like people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Um, and anyways, I said like I'm just some weird girl, like I'm no one special. Um, like I might be different from a lot of people, but I don't think anyone actually notices that too much. Oh, phew, they do. They do a lot. People know that I'm different. That's a for sure thing. Um, and then the person answered, and I said, like, and he's popular too, like, why would he ever like me? He's like a jock. Like, one of the nicer jocks, but regardless, he's a jock. Um, and the person who I don't know their name, um, they're just one of those people that, like, are there for you, and stuff. And they were like, Jamie, you're not just some weird girl, you're beautiful and your smile is so contagious. And yeah, he might be popular, but that shouldn't stop you from going out. And I appreciated that just because my self esteem is not always through the roof all the time. Just because with the way my life has gone, I don't know how anyone could understand it. And it's like, me and him have a lot of things in common, actually, because we both are able to express ourselves through writing a lot better than talking. We both like Rubik's Cubes. um, we both like, sports. We both like football. I don't play football, obviously, but we both enjoy that sport. Um, we both like going to KI, but heck, who in my land does not like going to KI? And I even offered to go with him. Not gone yet, but I'm trying to be a lady about that. And my heart just really hurts right now. Just because I'm having a lot of what ifs and stuff. And what ifs, they suck. They suck so much because you're always questioning things, Because that's why it sucks to get your heart broken at such a young age. Like, I legit got my heart broken, legit, the first year of being a teenager. For real. Like, when I was 13, I got my heart broken. So, that totally destroyed my world as far as relationships went. Because I never ever thought after that. Like, I always, like, after that, I thought what the typical girl thinks. Like, what's wrong with me? How could I possibly have made him, like, made his heart change? Like, did I do something wrong? And is that why he didn't pick me over the other girl? Or is, like, or am I just not good enough? Or am I just not his kind of perfect? Or am I just not that compatible? Or what? Like, and like now, I just really do wish that the guy who like now could understand that the reason why I talk to him so much is because I don't want to lose the friendship aspect of it. I don't, that's probably the most precious thing in the world. Cause with him being a jock and all, I never thought he would ever notice me. Cause as I said, I'm just some weird girl whose life has never been fair, never been perfect, never been anything but going through milestones, always kind of having disappointment in certain aspects, always having worries of things and always having a bunch of heartache. Not because of relationships, but because of just how life has went. And I've experienced a lot of loss too. And so the reason why I talk to whoever he is, like who he is so much, is for 5 reasons. 1, because I really appreciate the friendship that we've made. 2, because I want to know that I care. 3, because I feel like, he's there for me. Like, I could go and talk to him about everything. I trust him. 4, because I'm afraid of losing him. Because I've already lost one guy, because the other guy who I told you about, the one who the bully had a lot of stuff to deal with, he didn't end up going with anyone after me. So, and the thing was, we weren't even in a relationship. Half the time of me getting my heartbreak, I've never been in a relationship. Never. It's always been friends, and then I start liking the dude, and then they end up telling me that they're not into me, so I get my heart broken, because I feel like, well, if I'm not good enough for them, who is gonna like me? And then 5, because I really, really am scared that he'll be like everyone else in my life who has ever disappointed me. Because people in my life have promised me things and nothing ever went with them. And like when I was younger, people would call me a spoiled brat because to them I had everything in the world that a girl could possibly want. But no, I never got anything that I actually wanted. Like for Christmas, I never got everything that I wanted, And in school, I would look around and feel like, how is it that I feel like I'm on top of the world and everyone around me is higher than me, Like, yeah, it just, and nowadays I kind of feel like at least I'm not totally poor, And, okay, when I upload this video, you're probably gonna look at it and feel like I'm just acting all, like, sad to get views and stuff. But no, this is truly me, This is what I've been through. This is how, like, relationships have gone for me, And for if any of those 2 guys see the video, like whether it's the one who I liked at the time and the one I like now, please don't think I'm weird for doing this. Please just know it's me expressing it and me getting it out of my system. Because I am the type of person that holds a lot of things in, and that's not healthy to do. And yeah. And okay. The reason okay, and people are probably gonna ask, why do you like this guy so much? Because for one, I feel honored that he found me worthy of actually talking to. because not a lot of people have, other than my friends, like, of course my friends have, but I mean, like, anyone who have ever been, like, interested in, like, I've talked to them, and then all of a sudden they drop talking to me. They just stop, you know? And then that's what I'm scared of now. I feel like I'm becoming too clingy, and I feel like he's getting tired of talking to me. I don't want that to happen. I just don't. I know certain things have to happen and crap. It's just, I hate it. It has to happen and stuff. And it's like, truthfully, I listen to a lot of songs and I immediately start thinking about him. And I always get these feelings like when I should send a text or when I shouldn't send a text and everything. And sometimes I just wonder, like, if he's going through a hard time right now and he just doesn't want to talk. But, okay, if he ever watches this video, just know, dude, that I am here to talk 100%, you know? And that goes for anyone on YouTube, actually. Like, if you ever need to talk about something, I'm open for talking, Because I guarantee I'm, like, full of advice, Because, like, okay. This is, okay, I forgot to read this to you, but this is a poem or, like, a short story or, like, this is one of my little rant things, and I wrote it about boys, and here it is. Boys by Jamie Neese. Why do boys have to be so mean? It's like you make one mistake and they instantly hate you for the rest of your life. I didn't even mean to hurt or embarrass him, and trust me, if I could change it, I would, but I can't, and I'm sorry for what I did. I really am. But you're just going to have to accept the fact that it happened and there's nothing anyone can do to change it. So is it a crime to like a boy because it sure feels that way? It's like the minute you say anything about relationships or dating, they immediately freak out, and I try so hard to make a connection, but I always fail, though not every time is my fault. And I always feel like Medusa, like if a boy even tried to look at me, they will turn to solid stone because I'm so ugly. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wrote. I wrote this when I was in school, and around the time I was dancing in between the two guys. Like, one time I would like the guy, the next time I would like the other guy, and stuff, and my family just didn't understand me because at the beginning of this year I said I was not going to deal with boys because of what happened over the summer. I just didn't feel like I could deal with that over again. But then I started liking guys and stuff. And I didn't understand it either, but that just happened. And then I wrote this poem about bullies. I didn't finish it, but I'm pretty sure I can figure out what I was going to say. Bullies by Jamie Neese. Bullies are the one thing that makes school feel like a prison. And I've always tried my hardest to avoid them, but somehow they always manage to find a way back into my life. They're just like getting a shot. You're scared of them, but you realize that they can't really hurt you. And then I stopped right there. So there's that one. And the other reason I like the guy is because, okay, well, one, he said happy birthday to me when it was my birthday. He didn't need to do that, he just did. And it made me feel special just because with me being who I was, I didn't think he even knew I existed, Because I had talked to him a little bit over Instagram. Then we moved on to Snapchat, but regardless, I just asked him a simple question, and he answered back. And I was happy because me being who I am, as I always said, I don't feel all that important to people in school. Or at least some. Like, especially, okay, math teachers, one thing, I never feel important towards them because, I don't know, I'm just not that good at math. Always struggled in it, probably never will get it. And then, okay, I wrote this other thing. It's like, it's not even titled or anything, it's just by me. And it's like, I think it's like a quote that I was trying to make or something. And it says, "Today is just one of those days where things feel like they're going too fast. But you spend most of your day reflecting on what you did yesterday and thinking about what you will do tomorrow." So I wrote that. And then I wrote Tom and Boy, because I am a self-proclaimed tomboy right there. Okay, I'm going to read two more things because this video is becoming way too freaking long, and I'm sorry for that, guys. Unlike most channels on YouTube, I don't have that 15-minute limit thing, so I can record as long as I need. Anyways, there's this one called High School. High School by Jamie Neese. I'm nervous and excited all at the same time about high school, because in 4 years I will graduate and go off to college. But it's more than just that. I'm going to make new friends, and of course I will talk to my main group of friends every day. But right now I want the people I care most about to know that they shouldn't be nervous to say what they feel to me, especially if it's important and could be potentially life-changing, because I'm the most open-minded person you will ever meet in your life, and I won't judge you for any problems that you may have at the moment, because everyone has flaws and makes mistakes. And that's true. That's still true about me. That will always be true. I'm not a very judgmental person because with everything I've gone through, I'm pretty open-minded. So yeah. You can mark me down as one of your unjudgmental people. Okay, and sorry for the noise in the background. My mom is yelling for my brother who is wearing headphones. Okay, anyways, there's another one I put, and it's called This Big Mess Called Life by Jamie Neese. Okay, let's get one thing straight. Life is not fair for many reasons that should be obvious by now, but are not. Like, for example, my family is not rich. We are anything but. Which is the reason why I don't do much with my hair or don't have a different outfit for every single day of the week, like other girls do. But we all have to realize 3 things. 1, that nobody is perfect. 2, everyone has flaws. 3, making mistakes is a part of life. And these 3 things are what make life beautiful and exciting. Because let's be honest with ourselves and admit that if everyone wore a pair of black Converse, if everyone had the same handwriting, and if everyone listened to the same music, life would be really boring, gray, and depressing. Like, color and diversity are what I love most about life, because it makes the world a little less stressful. And in my opinion, stress and fear are always in our minds. Like, we may not be thinking about it, but it's always there, waiting for the perfect moment to make it ripple in our peaceful life. I feel like I've read this to you guys before, but I could potentially be wrong. And, okay, I'm going to look through this. I'm going to flip through this just to see if I wrote anything else. I wrote a letter to the guy who I like right now in here. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Um, okay, so yeah, that is my boy story right there. Um, this is probably like a new thing for YouTube because this technically would be my heartbreak story, but it's not because I've only been heartbroken technically really once. Because the other time I got heartbroken, which was by the guy who I think hates me. But anyways, yeah, I'll tell you that story like 15 years from now. Um, moving on though. So that was my story with the boys right there. Um, so thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for more in the coming days, hopefully. Oh yeah, I may possibly be vlogging on my trip to Chicago, but I may or may not. It just kind of depends. But bye.